things have changed, so it's time for a tour, guys. Looks a lot different than what you've seen from all our videos before, so I thought it was time for an update to see what's different around here. So I made this fancy cinder block plant stand, and this is just a bunch of perennials in here, not necessarily for eating. However, I wanted to have just some pretty flowers out. So some are for eating, but this has some hyacinth, however you say that, I don't know. Dandelions, I'm sorry, daffodils and tulips are in there. And there's also some summer bulbs planted right in that area right there. Here we have, the only thing to eat is some strawberries, and that's because I had extra plants because I had so many runners from the years before. And there's also chamomile here, chamomile here. That is a blanket flower, I believe. More daffodils. Some summer bulbs are in that yellow pot there. Summer bulbs are in these pots down here. This is an extra pot I found. This brown one here. Just set it there to do something with it at some point. So here's our leaf planter. Let's see if I can. There we go. This is our leaf planter. And in here are, again, a lot of strawberries, which I was not planning to do, but I had so many, I just didn't realize how many had grown off to be more plants. So the bottom 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, are all strawberries. Row 4 is every other plant is strawberry and spinach. So this is spinach here, and every other one, spinach and then strawberry. Here's all spinach in this row 2. In row 1 here are all of my different lettuce varieties. That's what all these are, and this one is arugula, which I've never had arugula, so that's why I only did one of those. It was supposed to be Little Gem Butterhead, but they did not come up. So I had started these arugulas indoors, so I went on and planted them there. So that's what's in the leaf planter. And we'll just go around, and I'll show you guys a picture of my layout that I drew of this. And I labeled numbers of what everything was, so you kind of know what things are. That is station 1, number 2. So this should be number 3. This will be tomatoes. And I did not have any more cattle panels, which we don't use cattle panel, we use handy panels because they're 8 feet long instead of 16 foot. I'll show you those when we get to the other ones. But Tractor Supply didn't have any more, so I had to just use some fencing that I had left over. So that's a temporary fix until they get some more in stock, because it's more wobbly. I don't like it. If you can see, it's a little too wobbly for me, so I don't want to keep that there. But this will be all tomatoes, and I believe it's cherry on the list. I'll correct that if not. But there's also going to be chives in here. There are some onions in here. Just a few. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of them are already in here. So this will be chives. There will be marigolds in here. There will be calendula growing in here. There's some, I'll show you some seeds growing down here of calendula. Some babies coming in. So this will be plenty of that extra companion planting for the tomatoes. This is another green stalk planter we have. This one will be basil mixed with micro tomatoes. So Micro Tom, Orange Hat, and Tiny Tim. Those 3 tomatoes will be in here, as well as basil and chives, and probably some marigolds as well, just to have a little mix in there. And then we have Tomato Alley. And these raised beds that you see back here that I'm showing you, these are all new. If you remember, we used to be all container gardening. But now that I have my layout fixed, I've decided to go ahead and put some raised beds in, because I think the tomatoes will do much better with so much more soil than just one 10-gallon fabric bag. They do good, but I think they'll do better with this. And so here you'll see I have the cattle panel. I'm sorry, again, handy panel. I'll say cattle panel, but it's a handy panel. That's what this is, much stronger. So I had those ones, I didn't have to buy them already. So I need 2 more handy panels. For the first one that I showed you, and this one here is also the fencing, so I need to get 2 more handy panels. So in here right now, there's only some calendula growing. Right there, and right there. But and there's one right here as well. But there will be, again, marigolds around this entire thing. I will be doing a lot of marigolds this year to make sure that we fight the pesty pests that are always haunting everyone. So there's another handy panel here, nice and sturdy. So that's doing good. Next is the area where we have previously, nothing's changed here. This is the same raised bed as last year, same panel as last year. Trellis for that. This was the cucumbers, so we'll do cucumbers again here. They do fantastic here, so I'm not changing anything with that. The only thing that is different is I have a new watering system in now, a make do. You know, it wasn't too expensive to put together. You see I have what is this called, a bib extender. Let me turn that off. I was just testing it out. A bib extender here. Hose bib extender is what this is called. Okay, and so that, you're supposed to put that right into the ground, up into that little level thing there. That's supposed to go to that part there in the ground. But I put a T-post in here because I didn't want it so low to the ground. I didn't want to have to lean down into it, so I just wanted it higher. So I put a T-post in first and then put the hose bib in. And if you put a higher one in, you can get it even higher. But I figured this was high enough because we will have high plants growing tomatoes. Again, this is Tomato Alley, so tomatoes will be growing up here. And then we'll have vining cucumbers up here. So I didn't need it to be that high, but this is a good spot for it. What I'm debating on are these, I guess it's a drip hose. I've never tried this one before. They poke out some little squirts of water. We'll see how it does. I only put it in 2 beds for these 2 to try these out. And these are 50-foot strips. So I have a 50-foot and another 50-foot on that side. That goes into the first bed you saw. So all these are with that drip hose. And it goes from there into there. So we'll see how that goes. If it's not enough, if it takes too long to water, I may switch it out for a soaker hose. We'll see. That's pending. We'll see how that goes. So in this cucumber bed, you'll see I have this kind of sprinkler, which I'm trying for the first time. A neighbor had one, and I was like, oh, I love that. So I'll just turn it on so you can see how it works. So that just kind of pulls out. Now, if I wanted to make it really go high, I could. I don't have it open all the way, but you can see it can really splash a lot. Now it's doing that because this water is going to all, what, 1, 2, 3, like 5 beds. So, I'm sorry, 6 beds. So if I was to turn everything off and just put this one on, like this could really squirt out really high. So you can make this as high or as low as you want. But for the purpose of, I don't want to wet my plants up, I'll have this on a small drip, maybe like that, so that they don't do too much. And that's how those are, so you can control that. So I do like that idea. And I think those will wet this entire bed up pretty quickly. So I'm very excited about this new hose system because over the years, I've spent hours and hours and hours out here just standing with the hose in the dead of the heat. And it's like awful. So moving on. We planted a blackberry bush here in this big grow bag. I'm not sure if it's going to stay here. I'm not sure if we're going to even continue to grow blackberries. I bought a pack of blackberries for the kids. Only one child likes them, maybe 2 out of 4. Me, I'm like, whatever. Don't love them, don't hate them. So we'll see if it's worth it. Maybe we'll do raspberries instead. We'll see, but we'll see. So we'll see what happens with that. So this is also a new bed here. New for this year. It used to be, again, there were pots here, and I'll try to put in some pictures to show what this used to look like for those that are new who've never seen it, as well as a reminder to our original followers that have seen our channel and followed us before. So this used to be like 4 grow bags, a small trellis. Those 2 bags were always there, but I took that all up. Oh, and there's also some bags here with a small trellis. So I've gotten rid of that, and I'm going to make this the pepper bed. So we're moving the peppers from where they used to be. They used to be here in these grow bags with the poles, and then last year they were originally with the poles. Then last year I tried them with a handy panel and T-post. That didn't work out as much as I had hoped, so I was going to go back to using the poles. And then I thought maybe just move the peppers all together. So we'll talk about what we're going to do with this area in a minute. So now I said the peppers are going to go here, and I'm excited about this because I feel like they're going to get more sun. Part of the issue I felt like I was having with peppers was I was getting peppers, but I wasn't getting as many as I'd hoped. They didn't grow as fast as I'd hoped. So I'm thinking putting them out away from the fence because they were kind of, you know, more closer to the fence. Now our sun comes from that way and it goes across over there. So when it's high up in the air, it can be a little blocked by these trees that are here. So I'm thinking by moving it out more, it will do a better job for it. So I'm excited about that. So this is a new bed, like I said, and this is a 4x6 bed. And all of them are, the new beds are 12 feet deep. I'm sorry, 12 inches deep, so a foot deep. Oh my gosh, a foot deep. So this is good. And again, I have a hose going here with that new sprinkler that I showed you. And we'll see how that goes, where I can just turn this on, leave it for, you know, a few hours, come back, turn it off, and everything will be really saturated. So I think that'll be good. All right, so we'll move over here. So these are our elderberry plants, trees, bushes that are coming back for year 3. Is this year 3 already? No, year 2. I don't know. Now, maybe it's year 2. We had them last year. So this is their 3rd year. Yeah, this is going to be their 3rd year. So as you can see, they are coming back nicely. This is exciting because we do make our own elderberry syrup. So it's nice to have our own elderberries. So these are doing good here in these big, I think these are 25 gallon grow bags, I believe. And here we have 2 empty pots for now. I'm not 100% sure. What was it? Oh, eggplant. I'm sorry, I do know. One's going to be eggplant, and the other one I don't know yet. Possibly a melon. Maybe I'll put a like a tomato cage around a melon for that. So maybe for that. Now these were all, again, so that one right there all the way to there were all peppers. So I'm going to take this out and put these somewhere around the perimeter of the front garden so that we can have flowers. And I'm thinking I'm going to put a lot of dahlias in there around the front garden, because I've fallen in love with the dahlia flower and I need them, and I don't really have a lot of places to put them in the ground, but I wanted to be able to put them in something that I can protect them over winter, so I can take these bags and just move them into the greenhouse over winter if I want to hold on to the dahlias and make sure that they don't die if it gets too cold. So with this space behind here, I'm not going to put any food here. That's a rose bush. Let me see if I can make it a little bit better. There we go. So that is a rose bush that I planted. And you can see here there's some stumps and roots. My husband cut that down, but that was a holly tree that I cannot stand. So it's like pokies on it. The kids run back here and it's like, get out of there. So yes, rose bushes have pokies too, but it's not the same as the holly bush for some reason. The holly tree is just like way big. So that's gonna grow back, but we'll just have to keep cutting it down until we can dig up the entire root, which is very strenuous. So for now, we'll just leave the root there like it is. But I'm thinking I'm gonna just make this area rose bushes and maybe some more dahlias. So this will be in ground, nothing potting soil wise. I may make a little perimeter of some sort to just kind of block it off as a dedicated garden space, but it's not going to be for the food. It's going to be for pretties. So as far as pretty things that are not for eating, we'll have this corner here. Again, these bags will not be here. And you have the ivy here, so I think that'll be really pretty. So this will be rose bushes and dahlias, and we have the pretty things over there. So I think that'll be nice. All right, so we talked about the stuff over here. This is an extra bag. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. I may plant something in it. We'll see where things are. That also is an extra bag. We'll see where things are. So this is also a new bed. This one was where we had, again, more pots were here. And I took that up, and what we had in here were what did we have in here? I had potatoes in here before in the bags. There were a couple extra pepper plants in here. So I've gotten rid of all that. So now we have more strawberries that were not supposed to be in here. But again, I had too many plants, so I had to put them somewhere. So I just did a perimeter of strawberry plants around here. On the end, you'll see there's some more calendula on this spot right here. And I need to put a hose here. You see I have one of those little watering sprinklers again here, but I don't have a hose linked to it yet. So I gotta figure out what I'm going to do with that, or if I'll just water this one like when I water the towers and the cinder block stand. Because this is a small bed, so it won't be too hard. But in here will be green beans. I believe the Kalima beans will be in here. So this is what this will be in this pot here. I'm sorry, in this raised bed here. When the time comes. So I'm really excited about this growing season. We had two strawberry towers here. So we still have strawberry towers here. However, the strawberry towers are now green stalk towers instead of our homemade crate ones that you see. The crates were right there. Those are the crates. So now we've gotten rid of the crates and put them in the green stalks. And this one was here last year, but we just put this one up this year. So I'm excited about that. And these are all full of strawberries. My kids, we eat a lot of strawberries. Now, I don't know what this is growing in here. I mean, it's huge. What is that? That's crazy. Like, I can't wait to see what that is. Look at that. It's like a tree. A bush of some sort. I don't know. But it's coming out of here with the strawberry plant. So I'm not taking that out yet because I want to see what that grows to be because I'm curious. So, yeah. There are the strawberry towers. I'm excited. This is like lots of changes for the better. Some more solid, semi-permanent changes, and I'm really happy with that. We were having problems with the chickens jumping over, so we put up this pretty what is this border thing called? I can't even think of it. I guess it's just a border. Yeah, we put these flags up, flag borders, so those are pretty. And my husband put some twine to decrease the size, which we may need to do a little bit more, maybe put an X through it or something, because there's one particular chicken that just will not stay out of here. Every chance she gets, she's over here clucking around, making a mess, which is why the straw is all in the ground. As you can see, it's a mess because of her. Sometimes she'll jump over and she'll even knock over some of these pots, and I'm like so mad at her. It's not this one. Hello. Not you. It's her. She's right there. Bad chicken. Anywho, so that's what's in the back garden. That's the new back garden. As usual, we still have rosemary here, bee balm and sage here. And over here we have peppermint. And we had something in there, but the chickens dug it up. So we'll pot something else there. Back here is the mess. Everybody has the mess spot. There's a shed, so this is where we keep the extra scrap lumber that we use to make all the awesome things. And that's the butcher block on butcher days. Extra pots, fabric cover, all the extra pots, extra planters, chicken waterers, chicken feeders, extra things, tomato cages, all the things, shovels, rakes, stakes, all the things, all the mess. I'll show you the mess too, right? And so our herb, here's our herb veg trugs. This is where things all began with our homestead. We started out with one of these on the porch with some herbs. Then we got a 5-gallon bucket and put maybe 2 of them and put like 2 tomato plants in it. And that is where we started. And now we do all this. Just saying. So for the herbs, most of these are growing back from years before. Some of them I'd like to, as you can see, like they start growing some like algae or moss, whatever. I don't really need that. So I like to kind of take these out and repot them with some new soil, because I like a fresh look. And then I put these on here to cover it up, but I did it too late. So that way the leaves stay out. It doesn't freeze, these are all perennials anyway, mostly. So I don't have to worry about freezing too much, but I love to have to not clean them out so much. So my plan is to hopefully take this stuff out, repot them, clean everything up, and get these growing fresh again. We'll see what happens. But there's rosemary growing, chives, oregano. We use a lot of oregano at our house, so I make my own seasonings. So oregano is very important. Oregano. Lots of oregano. Sage. Thyme was in here, and it's not anymore. And marjoram was there later. We've had stevia. There was some lavender. I don't want to do lavender here anymore because it doesn't grow big enough. So we have another lavender pot that we grow lavender. That's what was in one of those lavender that was on the steps. So these two full ones are nothing but peppermint. Different flavors of peppermint. This one was a variegated. I mean, I don't even see. Oh, there's some coming back. Yeah, these leaves are like awful. This is why I really want to get rid of. Well, we'll talk about that later too. But I want to keep these covered up after the season so that the leaves in the fall are not falling into them, because it's awful. It's just too much. So yeah, all the peppermints. I mean, we have orange and chocolate, and I mean, just so many things. And I don't really need to have that. This one's chocolate mint. I can't even see it. There's so much moss growing in here. So I really want to take these out, get rid of these, and start fresh with herbs based on what we really need. And, you know, so this needs to be redone. So I'll get to that. That will happen. But that's it for the back garden. That's everything. The good, the great, and some of the ugly. Nothing bad, just a little bit of ugly. A little fugly. Alright, so I'll take you guys to see the front and show you what that's looking like next.